What's going on, gamers? I am DBM Gamer, and one of the things that I like to do on this channel is to give a roundup of some of the news stories that are going around Destiny's communities. But before I can get into that, I have a few shoutouts to give. Now, my shoutouts is one way that I try to show appreciation back to the community of gamers that has gotten me this far. So I want to give a shout out to Antorico2 Gaming, Mason Culp, EC Money, Gabriel Castillo, and Nathan Palmer. Now, first and foremost, there's been a post going around that it is somehow possible to hack into someone's account and have them change things in your game. Case in point, this player, Def Guardian, claims to have had his account hacked when he went into the Crucible and used Thorn. He said that the other player had sent him a message and that had then somehow hacked into his account. Now, after gaining access, he had said that this account lost its Thorn and that it had been dismantled. Now, I cannot say if this is true or not, and honestly, it sounds kind of like a hoax to me, but if you get a message of something like this happening to you, make sure you report this to Bungie. Now, going forward, I think Crucible is about to be very, very different, however. This is the chart of the most used weapons in the last Iron Banner. At the top of the list, by a mile, is Thorn. Well, there's a large batch coming just before the Taken King launches. Now, if you've been on my channel for a while, you may remember I said something that could be done to combat Thorn users was the sustained fire from auto rifles. Now, I said I wanted them to fill a role that's kind of a close to mid-range and have their damage just under what the pulse rifles do. Well, in the patch goals, that is exactly what they're striving for. They're going to increase the base damage, starting with the damage follow-up closer to the player to emphasize its role as a close to medium range weapon. Now, to help out with this, it will have a small reduction in its stability, and they are even going to get a 10% boost to make them more viable in PvE. My Titan is polishing up his Monte Carlo for some PvE fun when this part of the patch lands. But that's not all. Something that I didn't want to see in that video was for Thorn or any of the hand cannons to have any kind of nerfs happen to them. But when you see how all the hand cannons have really tilted the PvP as they have, I still think Bungie may need to nerf them. And they are. All hand cannons will have their damage over range reduced, a small reduction in long range accuracy, and they are also talking about reducing the aim assist. The fast firing from the hip will be less reliable, and both the magazine size, inventory, and the optical zoom will all be slightly reduced. But they're not done. Thorn will be rebalanced like this. They will allow the Mark of the Devourer to stack, but the damage for a single Mark of the Devourer will be reduced by a third. The Last Word will also have its range and stability reduced, as well as when you ADS. There was also a glitch that allowed the hipfire damage boost to work when ADS'd, and that will be patched. But this is the hipfire hand cannon, so it will get a boost in damage and accuracy as long as you're firing it from the hip. Even Hawkmoon will no longer be allowed to stack holding aces and luck in the chamber on one bullet. So no more getting lucky and then landing that one headshot for a one-shot kill. They will also reduce the damage bonuses by 3%. So after the hand cannons, what's the most abused weapon in the Crucible? Oh yeah, shotguns with shot package. So that perk will now have a 30% reduction in its effectiveness. If you went in with rangefinder in your shotgun, that's going to be reduced also. And since we're rolling down the list of PvP abusers, how about the high impact snipers with Final Round? Now, I have one of these myself, although I really don't have a lot of fun sitting back and sniping. I'd rather be a little closer to the action. Well, going forward, if you still have one, a Final Round's damage boost will only trigger if you hit a precision shot. So no more I got sniped in the foot deaths due to Final Round. And lastly, rocket launchers. If like me, you really enjoyed the proximity explosion of the grenades and horseshoes perk, well, you're going to have to be a little more accurate. There will be a small reduction to its trigger radius. Now, if you caught my how to get the best rocket launcher video, you may remember I said that velocity is very important. So as long as you aim your rockets instead of just blind firing them, you should still be fine. Now, to boot, they're even going to increase the size of the blast radius slightly on all rocket launchers. Now, one of my favorite snipers is the Black Hammer in PvE. Well, they're changing that as well. Once this patch lands, they will make the White Nail perk pull reserve ammo. So no more unlimited ammo. This is one nerf I really don't get. We play the raids to get special weapons. Now Black Hammer will only be a gun that you just won't have to reload until it empties itself. Kind of disappointed with that one. And speaking of disappointment, Gjallarhorn is even getting a nerf too. The Wolfpack rounds will now do less damage. They cite the fact that it is the most commonly equipped heavy, and to boot, it is the most used in any of the in-game content. And some looking for group people won't allow you to play unless you even have a Gjallarhorn. Now here is what I say about this. Make Xur sell the damn Gjallarhorn. Make it more prevalent in his loot table. I mean, at this point, a lot of people don't even believe it's in the damn loot table. And if some LFG punk says that you need a Gjallarhorn to make it through the nightfall of the raid, you probably don't need to join that group anyway. I think a lot of these changes are good, but some are just excessive. Case in point, Icebreaker will now need 8 seconds to recharge a round as opposed to 5 seconds. So you want me to take longer using Icebreaker because that's all it does. Icebreaker is a PvE darling, and this wouldn't make me use it less, it just makes it less special because it's going to take longer to use it. Oh, but it's not over. Stat perks for the year 1 guns, you know, Field Scout, Perfect Balance, Hammer Forge, Send It. Yeah, those will be retroactively reduced too, since they don't have a penalty like the new House of Wolves perks do. Oh, but they are planning to buff Hardlight, No Land Beyond, and the Lord of Wolves. But yeah, I am really disappointed in a lot of these changes. Now, if you want to read the entire list of changes, because there are a lot of them, I'll link it in the description box, but I'm sure we're going to be discussing this for quite a while and in later videos. Now, if you caught my last video, you should be aware of the 8-bit salute that is happening this weekend. Once again, if you have free time, I highly recommend checking it out. It's going to start out with the guys from Guardian Radio at 10 AM Eastern. Now, I have one last thing I want to tell you guys, and this one is a little hard. Last Friday, one of the members of Dads of Destiny lost an infant child to SIDS, Sudden Infant Death Syndrome. Now, he has a special request of all of you. Now, I'm just going to read his words. We are sending my little hero off with a bang. As you know, my son Liam passed away this last Friday. What most of the people do not know is that he donated his heart valve to 2 children in need. On Friday, this Friday now, we are asking that people light up social media for all parents who have lost a child. We ask that on Friday you wear something superhero themed, and please post it to social media using the hashtag Liam, #LittleHeroes. He brought so much joy in this world, we want to keep it going. Also, through your help and the help of so many people, we have surpassed our goal. After my wife and I talked, we planned on donating the remainder of the funds to the 2 children he helped, and although it's not confirmed yet, we believe it was SIDS that took him. So to help other families out, we will also donate to SIDS research in his honor. Thank you, sir, for your continued support. P.S. This community has been truly amazing, and what most people do not know is that through most of my Destiny gaming, he was at my side for every milestone, Vault of Glass normal and hard, Crota normal and hard, and so on and so on. Many of my DoD X1 Solar guys will attest to him snoring or cooing in my mic while I would game. Feel free to share these photos with the community. My little guardian is down, but his light shines on. So guys, if you're watching this on Friday or hell, even the weekend, any type of social media you have, Facebook, Google, Twitter, anything, Instagram, feel free to wear a superhero themed shirt and then make sure you hashtag it Liam and hashtag it Little Heroes. Now the memorial GoFundMe page for Liam is nearly double what the goal was that they set, but if you want the link to it, just say so in the comment section and I'll make sure to give you that information. Guys, I know this video was a bit of a downer in comparison to some of the other stuff that I do, but if you like the information, just hit the like button or leave a comment, or if you want to see more, just hit that subscribe button. But as always guys, have a good one.